This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And guess what? Free dining has been extended, but you've got to act quickly for it because free dining, in order to get the free dining package for select nights between August 15th and December 21st, you have to book by August 14th of this week. That's right. So you can act now, but MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you plan that next free dining trip to Walt Disney World. Just go to mousefantravel.com. and one of their talented travel agents will get right with you in planning that next trip to Walt Disney World. Check them out again, www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, August 11th, 2010, and this is episode 758 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. See you, Len. Studio Central.
Nice shirt.
Oh, thank you. Also joining us on today's show is one of our panelists, Len Testa, co-author of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome to the show, Len.
Thanks, Matt.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Newell of MouseWorldRadio.com. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Man, I don't know if you can see I'm wearing my Skagway shirt on.
I do. You're wearing your Skagway Alaska shirt.
And it looks like Las Vegas.
Yeah, it does.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
And actually, I'm wearing the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World 2004 shirt.
Ooh.
Are you really going old school on us? That's awesome.
Old school, yeah. And by the way, Matt, did you know that Tibet is a land that will always seem timeless and remote?
I've heard that in the China Pavilion film.
That's where I've heard it too.
Great.
Mostly a guess, but you know. It's Wednesday, and we're going to be answering your listener questions. We're going to start with an email from Edward Phillips of Edinburgh, Scotland.
Oh,
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Right, so everyone, love the show. I just listened to Gavin's Trip, episode 750, and I got kind of disappointed when I heard how he got a lot of free stuff when he wore the honeymoon pin. I listened to the first show he did with you, and you advised him to get the honeymoon pins because you would get free stuff or better seats for shows, so on, so forth. So when my honeymoon just passed, week of July 5th, we took your advice and asked for honeymoon badges. We didn't get anything for free, although we did almost all the cast members wishing us congratulations, which was really nice, but it would have been nice to have gotten a little something. Not that this made our stay any less amazing, it just would have been a nice touch.
Yeah, it would have been. That's a shame. It's one of the things, though. I mean, you can't count on it because of so many people that go. It's a shame, but still, it's...
Yeah, the pins will, at the very least, get you lots of recognition. I'm surprised, though, because if you wear your pins to sit-down meals, almost always, be it a birthday, anniversaries are a little less definite, but you usually get like a free dessert, like a cupcake with a one, candle on it or something like that. But it's very much hit or miss. Some people get a lot of stuff, some people get no stuff. But
I feel bad that they didn't get anything.
Next email is from Amy from Kansas City, Missouri, who writes, "Hello, oh wise ones, and Matt too."
Ooh.
Oh.
So she's smart as well. Go ahead.
She writes, "Okay, that was a low blow. I really do respect Matt as much as the rest of you all. I just wanted to see if you would really read that out loud, Matt."
Yes.
I'm going with yes.
Anyway, here's my questions. After your wonderful response to my email on holidays in November or December, my family has planned to be in Walt Disney World December 4th through the 13th, and please don't say soon or welcome back. In my research, I found that December can, in Orlando, be full of wild weather swings from week to week. I know that last year alone, there were weeks in the 80s and weeks in the 40s. So I realized...
we camped out on that week in the 40s?
Yeah.
That's right. And I realized that I'll have to check out the forecast the week before my trip to get an idea of what to pack. I was wondering, however, if you all would be so kind as to describe what types of clothing you all typically wear each day if the weather is true to its December average of mid-70s for highs and 40s for lows. I'll be packing for myself, my husband, and my 5-year-old son. I will also have my mother, low 70s, and my aunt, 60s, along with me. Jeans, shorts, short sleeves versus long sleeves, what type of jackets, windbreakers, thin slit lined. We will be hitting the parks for rope drop, leaving around midday for naps and breaks, and returning to the parks in the evenings, late afternoon. Please take me through all wardrobe changes or choices per typical day. Is it possible to swim during this weather? Our hotel has heated pools, but that's just the water.
I wear shorts all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil does.
Yeah, Scopa does too, on principle, right?
Well, yeah, after all, it's balmy down there at that time of year. So
The
But it
40s.
can
I,
be-
you know,
it can be
I
cold.
don't. I wear jeans and a long sleeve, something lightweight, like a long sleeve Gap T-shirt is really good during the day. Something light colored with long sleeves.
Right.
And then I usually bring along a sweatshirt or something for night. I get cold at night.
Yeah, layers is key, I think, for this time of year. Jeans is probably a good bet. 70s is still very much, you can still get around with jeans. It's not no humidity generally. Have a t-shirt and then have, like a long sleeve shirt like Len mentioned and maybe a light jacket. And that way you can take it off in the daytime because the afternoon it will get warm.
If they're
And
mentioning that they're going home for a swim or something, they could always, wear shorts in the morning to the afternoon, and then when they go back, change into
they're staying
something
at night,
for
yeah.
the evening. Yeah.
I've just typically found like rope drop in those first couple hours to be kind of chilly where
Yep.
you'll feel like you'll need something. But then when you get to like 11, 12 o'clock and then till like 3, 4, 5 o'clock, it's very warm out. You can definitely get away with short sleeve shirts. And then in the evening, again, you'll need to fall back to a jacket or a sweater or something. It's great weather for hoodies, if you ask me.
I got a great pair of long running sweats. They're like a poly moisture wicking fabric blend things from Target for like $16. They're black.
Mhm.
I got a couple pair actually. They're really lightweight sweats, and I think they might be perfect for this type of situation. The downside is the pockets are kind of narrow, not deep. So you can't really put like a wallet or anything. I wouldn't feel comfortable walking around with theme park passes or a wallet or something in it. But
I was gonna, Len, with this kind of weather, there's a danger with this, and that's you're gonna be unprepared, and we need something warmer than we have, and you've been in this situation, I know, because I've seen you had to.
Don and I buying $60 Disney sweatshirts because we were freezing at the studios one night.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that is for a family that gets cold. That adds up really, really quickly. So I would play it safe and pack extras rather than I'd pack for every weather condition rather than just assume that it's going to be fine, even if you know the weather forecast ahead of time. Because if you're there for 4 or 5 days, it can change.
If I can plug one of our former sponsors, an owner's locker is something I love for this kind of trip, because what I would do is the first time I got my owner's locker, I threw in like 2 sweatshirts that I was okay with, keeping them there. Glenn is shaking his head. You can but you keep them in there for these times of year, so that way you don't have to say, oh, I forgot to pack the, sweatshirt. It's gonna be colder than I expected. And anyway, you can keep it in there. So there's your tip. Next email is from Amy Schneider of Milan, Indiana. Matt, it's pronounced Milan with a long I sound, not like the city in Italy. Oh,
Milan.
Anyway,
Or
from Indiana.
Milan. My long eye. Milan.
Island.
Mulan.
We will be visiting the world October 21st to 27th, 2010. During our stay, Fantasmic is only showing once. It's showing Sunday, October 24th, which is an evening extra magic hour.
Sunday.
We're staying on property with park hoppers, if this makes any difference. On the crowd calendar, it's marked neither a park to avoid nor a best park to visit, and is rated a 1 on the crowd calendar, but is a 4.7 on the per park crowd calendar. With this being the only night Fantasmic is showing during our 6-night stay, I need a plan of action. How soon do we need to get there before the show, and what are the best seats to get and seats to avoid? We've never been to Fantasmic before, and as the last time we were there in the world, my youngest son was 6, and he's a bit on the skittish side as far as dark and evil. But now that he's 8, I think he would do just fine. Wow. So you want to get there, at least 45 minutes, if not probably 45 to 60 minutes, given that time of year. Len, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty dead time of year, October 24th.
Yeah, so if the overall park is a 1, that's going to be the bottom 10% of all days for the year. For the studios, if it's a 4.7, it's still going to be below average, but maybe right at average.
Okay. And then what you want to be is a little off center, in terms of which section you're in, and maybe about a third up from the water would be great, because if you're right next to the water, there's a chance of getting wet. There's a lot of mist that comes your way, but otherwise, I mean, it's pretty good. I would just really the only sections I say to avoid are the extreme ends of the theater, which coincidentally is one of the Fantasmic dining package sections. Also, do you think there's any chance Disney will add to the schedule? I was hoping to go on a night with 2 shows and go the later show as you suggest. There's always a possibility. Disney likes to put out a Fantasmic schedule to begin with because they have to have park hours out, 6 months in advance to match the dining. But then they put out like a poultry schedule, and typically they then add in more shows as they get closer. They say, "Ooh, there's a lot of people booking."
Right.
Change things up. So there's hope. October, late October, like that, closer to Halloween. That's not I know the crowd calendar doesn't reflect it, but you can still have a fair amount of people on property. It's not like it's going to be a completely dead time of the year.
It's gonna be slow relative to everything else. There are gonna be pockets where there are days that are busier, but yeah, in general, it should be relatively slow.
Next email is from Larry Heidenberg, and this is an email for Scopa. And Mike, I hope you have some idea of what he's talking about. But he writes, hate to tell you, Scopa, but while you quote Animal's Serenity sketch nearly perfectly, you were wrong as to who Animal did it with. James Coburn was the actor trying to teach Animal meditation and serenity.
That's
that was
right.
in Season 5, Episode 5. The late David Carradine was never on the Muppet Show, while James Coburn not only did the Muppet Show, but also the Muppet movie. I love the Muppets, and the Muppets Go to Hollywood. So I hope that made some sense to you, Mike.
He's right. James Coburn was there. That's right.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. Thank you,
Thanks, Larry.
Next email is from Naomi. Writes, greetings from the currently icy cold Michigan, though I expect by the time you read this, it'll be balmy spring or later. Try summer. Where we are one of those families you have seen at Disney World with babies. Yes, us. I'm intimately familiar with every baby center, wonderful places, and know lots of quiet hiding places in which little ones can take a nap while the older one and daddy can romp. We started our treks to the world on our honeymoon and have been there almost every year since we had kids. In fact, we had a wonderful trip with our oldest son who was only 4 months old.
Wow.
Since then, we've been there in late fall, early September, mid-January, a couple's trip in May. Love them all. Mostly, we've had great weather, except January 1. It frosted and my kids wore mittens and hats all week. It was cold.
Yeah.
Now, however, due to the fact that we have school-age children, we're interested and are interested. We are taking Scopa's advice, actually we agree, about not taking them out of school and looking to take a summer Disney vacation. We have the summer basically open, but are leaning towards doing late August. A little rain won't scare us off, and the smaller crowds are an enticing incentive. One question is this. If we have to go during the summer, what's the best, and best is in capital letters, time to go? What's the worst time to go? And what are the pros and cons of mid to late August?
Well, right off the bat, if you're going after the 15th or the 17th, you're going to then experience the shorter park operating hours. Right around the 15th or the 17th, they begin to pull them back. You might experience less crowds at that point because you may find that the families who have children who are doing soccer, field hockey, football, they have to return home. They can't be doing vacation because they've got kids that are going to be, practicing. So I think that you've got low crowds in August. You also have the shorter operating hours, but you also have, you're entering hurricane season, and if I'm down there, good luck.
Yeah, right.
So that's the pros and cons from my point.
Maybe actually adds, funny you mentioned that, Scopa. What happens if a hurricane does blow in? We figure it's hot. If it is hot, we will build to each day an early start and lunch at a resort with a planned dip in our hotel pool, followed by a return trip to the park in the evening for further touring and fireworks. Our kids are no longer take naps, but downtime will do them good, especially if it's hot. You want to talk a little bit about hurricanes because you've experienced that before, Mike?
About 3 times. In Holland, like the same summer, I think. I think everybody needs to know that you're in good hands when you're there. You need to listen to the resort. They will send notifications. They will be communicating with the guests. They will send flyers, not flyers, but sheets of information that they will place on the table in your room, letting you know what they know. They will put something on the television. They will close the parks if it really looks bad. And I know that in Orlando, I think this was before you moved down there, Matt. From what I remember with Hurricane Charlie, is that they turned the power off in downtown Orlando before the big winds come, because they don't want those power lines
they don't want
with electricity. That's something different from what a lot of us up here in the Northeast would recall. So that's something. I think that just keep your eyes and ears, to the weather. If you've got a smartphone, you should have the Weather Channel on there. But pay attention to what Disney tells you to do because they've been through this before.
Great point. Len, the emailer asks, what's the best time to go in the summertime and the worst time to go?
The best time to go is the second or third week of August. So to Scopus' point, the crowds have pretty much died down. We've noticed a slight dip in our in-park wait time observations, for example, starting a couple days ago. But the park hours are still long. The crowds have diminished because everyone really who's gone for summer vacation who wanted to go for summer vacation probably already has. So I think this is still a good time to go. Those would be my two. So avoid the first month and come in the last month of August vacation.
Another good point in going the summer is that you're more likely to have two showings of Fantasmic or Spectral Magic or whatever parade is running at the Magic Kingdom. You're more likely to see two showings during very crowded weeks than you normally. So that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Next email is from Dave Miller, who writes, hello to all of you. I've been listening to your show for a while now, and this is the first time I'm writing. This isn't a question, just a comment on episode 655. I think that Newell got it right on the American Adventure. It's one of the best attractions in the park and deserves to be an E-ride. This is the episode we were talking about ABCDE tickets for Epcot. Yeah. He writes, it's an amazing combination of everything that Disney does to entertain and educate. I'll be looking forward to hearing how the rest of your audience comes out on this one. I want to say thanks to you all. I had to spend an hour a day undergoing medical treatment, and listening to your show sure helps make that time go by so much faster. It reminds me of the great times I've had over the years at Walt Disney World and helps keep me thinking about what I'm going to be doing the next time I'm down there. Best to you all and happy holidays. I'm guessing that this actually won't be seen till the 4th of July.
Oh, no.
Very nice.
Ouch.
Next email is from Nick Manship of Louisville, Kentucky, who writes, each Kentucky Derby, my significant other and I get the heck out of Louisville, Kentucky, and head to the much calmer place, Disney World. No, it really is much calmer than up here and warmer. Wow. This will be our 6th visit to the world, and usually stay at Port Orleans French Quarter. Mm-hmm. We chose to stay at Coronado Springs this upcoming trip because of the refurbishment, and it makes the resort look great. Don't get us wrong, we'll always call Port Orleans French Quarter home. My question deals with the pool hours that are shown at the various websites such as All Ears and DisneyWorld.com. At Port Orleans French Quarter, 2 hours were never the hours were never enforced. So long as you were respectful and quiet, we found ourselves at the pool or hot tub at 2 a.m. Never was asked to leave by the staff, and they were occasionally present, including security. Can I expect the same at Coronado Springs Resort, or are the pool hours strictly enforced?
I think as long as you're quiet and calm, they're not gonna do anything.
I agree.
Especially 2 a.m. And people understand. Disney understands that people are on vacation. Now, if you're out screaming, your kids are jumping around or splashing or something like that, they're going to enforce that starting around midnight, I think.
Yes.
Although
you hit the nail on the head, Len.
During TenFest, when we were staying at Port Orleans, there was a group of kids at 2:30 at the pool that were really, really loud, and nobody came and did anything about them. So,
I guess I mean, the point is, if you're going to do it, it's fine. Just, be respectful of everyone else. Just go for that quiet swim. Basically, you should do the kind of swim that they did in National Lampoon Vacation, where they're at the except you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Without cheating on
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Nice.
Next email is from Everett in Georgetown, Indiana. You're right. Yeah, I noticed, by the way, guys, all our episodes eventually come back to a National Lampoon film. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Caddyshack, the last episode, and even though it's not National Lampoon.
Close enough. We booked a 7-day stay at Walt Disney World for the first week in February. We're taking our 4- and 6-year-old for the first time. We're staying at Polynesian for easy commute and naps, and trying the deluxe dining plan. Hope you could help with a few questions. Will the kids be able to order from the adult menu at the counter service at least some of the time?
Will the kids be able to order from the adult menu?
I think on the dining plan they're talking about. I think so. Because there was that whole hoorah about you could use child dining credits for adult meals.
Yeah, I was thinking more about the appetizer thing. I think so if there is a kids menu, kids have to order from the kids menu though.
Is that the case?
Yes.
Interesting. I thought so. Kid, if you're at Kona Cafe, the kid can't order the.
If there's a children's menu, the child has to order from the children's menu.
Okay.
Pretty sure about that.
Any
now whether that's enforced, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Any specific suggestions as to child-friendly activities around the Polynesian or monorail resorts that we shouldn't miss? The Neverland Club is a big hit with kids.
That's good. Every resort does, every deluxe resort at least does some sort of organized child activities throughout the day. Those are usually posted in the lobby.
Right.
I would check those out because that's usually, they do like a craft thing. They do a quick tour of the lobby. They do stuff like that. Check those out because those probably change on a daily basis.
Yeah, also not the I don't think they do it at the Polynesian. I could be wrong, but the other deluxe resorts do have a film on the beach. They have a huge giant screen that they put up there, and you can watch some Disney film. There's a schedule as well you can find at the resort when you check in, and that's the kids love that stuff. So, and the other thing I would say it's not a monorail resort, but you should definitely take your kids over to Fort Wilderness and do the campfire sing along. I think they'll enjoy that. Can you tell me what the Kim Possible thing is at Epcot?
Oh, it's fantastic. Scopy, you want to talk about it?
Let's see. So you go over to, let's see, usually it's Interventions, I believe, and you sign up and they give you a phone and you are instructed to, how to use the phone, and you're going around and you're trying to capture some bad guys, and there are clues that you are given, and you find the clue and you figure it out, and you go to certain areas in World Showcase and you hold up the phone and you hit a certain combination and neat things happen. That's pretty abstract, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can also sign up at the junction of Future World and World Showcase as well. There's a location over there
on the bridge. Yeah.
You can also
it is a lot of fun. My daughter's done all of them multiple times. It's a hoot.
Absolutely. You can also sign up at the countries in World. There's a couple locations, but I think they prefer you go to those other locations in Future World.
If it's slow, they said that you can come right up to the. There's one in right outside of England, and then the other one in right outside of Norway.
Yes. Also, they had a question: is the monorail stroller friendly? Yes.
Yep.
And will the Jedi Training Academy at the studios be open? Yes.
Yes.
And viable for a rambunctious 4-year-old?
Yes.
I think so. I think anyone under the age of 4, I don't think they'll understand it. Anyone over the age of 9 will kind of find it boring or stupid. But I think if they're 4, I think you'll be okay. Good. Next email is from... Oh, man, we're talking about a long email. Who is this from? Stephen Cantafio. Whereas here are some bullet points for my trip that I took a few weeks back that I mentioned to you earlier on Facebook. I know there are a lot of random thoughts below, but I'm sure you could find a few things you'd want to highlight it on a single podcast. So he has really a bunch of different things here. Stroller rental. The new strollers are much more narrow. We paid in advance for a double stroller, but most cast members would give us the singles, no questions asked. Good to know. Saratoga Springs. We were unable to... This is our home DVC resort. We were unable to extend our checkout on the day we were leaving. We were told DVC rooms take longer to make up. That's interesting. Let's see here. They did the bass fishing. Boat picked us up, 3 of us up at Saratoga Springs. We were told Lake Buena Vista rather, isn't as good as some of the others. We probably caught less than 6 fish in about 2 hours. Interesting to know. Wake Up Call, in case you didn't know, Wake Up Calls are Mickey and Stitch. Nice little touch.
They also have new ones that are in different languages.
Yes, I heard about that.
That is new, yeah.
Autograph books. I never heard of this before, but it's a great idea to have the characters skip pages. Our kids love how we added photos after we got home. It's interesting. Kim Possible, we just, what listener mentioned that. Great idea, but once again, my kids were too young. The adventures take a little longer than I had expected. American Idol experience. Did this for the first time and really enjoyed it. Nearly identical to the show. Ran into one of the finalists later in the week. They were like a mini celebrity. And he has a lot of great detail here. I wish we could have time for this. Last one is California Grill. Had another great meal here, but I guess they never checked whose birthday it was on our master reservation. My son wasn't with us, yet I got a birthday cake.
Awesome.
Very nice. Great email. Who was this? Steven. Lots of great detail that you've included there, so thank you. Next email is from Jill Thomas, who writes, I'm emailing from McKinney, Texas, hoping you can give me advice for an upcoming trip. I'll be at the World
soon.
My husband and I will be alone for about 4 days, and then my family will come to spend 4 more days with us.
She needs a place to hide when they come.
I was wondering if you had any suggestions for... All right, they're going for Thanksgiving 2011. And any suggestions for a Thanksgiving meal? There'll be 9 adults, 2 kids, age 5 and 18 months. We're staying at the Dolphin because of the great discount.
Yep.
What do you think, Scopa?
In the parks or out of the parks? Good,
In the
Scopa.
par-
Doesn't
I'm going to pass on this one. I want to hear Len first.
I mean, so I think the one we've always talked about is Liberty Tree Tavern, the Thanksgiving there. Pretty much it's Thanksgiving every day there though with the dinner menu, right? It's turkey, it's stuffing, it's
Yeah, I think it's a little bit special, though.
yeah, they do more. Yeah, they do more Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's kind of like Groundhog Day, but Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly.
The movie.
But I think most of the big name restaurants will have some sort of Thanksgiving menu, especially in the Magic Kingdom. Studios probably will too, right? Does Brown Derby do anything Thanksgiving related? I'm sure it's some sort of
Maybe, but I don't recall. I can't
yeah.
recall.
I think the Magic Kingdom generally will.
Yeah.
I want to say the Wilderness Lodge might have something with Whispering Canyon, but I thought someone had said something to me about that one year. But I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, there are some special options there. You got to check it out for each one. I'm trying to see if I can pull up the information real quick here for Thanksgiving. Anyway, wait, here we go. Magic Kingdom, Cinderella's Royal Table, Crystal Palace, Liberty Tree, Tony's. It lists a lot of places. I don't believe half these things, but never mind. Let's go to our next email, though, while we're talking. Next email is from Brett in New Hampshire. Cousin Mickey doesn't talk about on the boards. Hoorah. When I sent my email, Matt would be deported to Norway, I was just joking around. I'm surprised to find out how many listeners were put off by that episode. I really wonder if any of them ever seen that movie. There are a few things you have to remember about the Norway film. One, the cast members working there know the movie is awful, so they try and compensate by turning the volume up to 11. I bet Len got that joke.
It goes to 11.
What's the 11 joke? I don't get it.
It goes to 11.
What's the...
Say it again.
That's from Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Oh. That movie is so loud, I'm thinking about bringing earplugs next time. And, number two, anyone who really wants to see the movie changes their mind about 30 seconds in and leaves. The other people are there for the laugh factor. The Norway movie is bad. It's so bad it's become funny. If you can sit through the whole movie without laughing or shaking your head, you need to seek medical attention. Thank you as always, Brett. Next email is from Bill Wangren of Concord, North Carolina.
Hello, Bill.
Oh, it's pronounced Wangren. Sorry, Bill. We are going to Walt Disney World soon. We're driving to Orlando from North Carolina. Let me know if Len or Annette need a lift.
Thanks.
He'll be arriving at Scopa Towers at between 1 and 2 a.m. We have a room-only reservation for Friday night and a 7-night vacation package starting Saturday. Would it be possible for us to check in for our Friday night room and Saturday package at the same time, since technically it will be 2 a.m. the next morning on Saturday? I realize we will have the same room and we'll need 2 different keys to the World cards, but we would like to avoid standing in line Saturday morning to get our park tickets, which are part of our vacation package, and head straight to the parks. That's an interesting question.
So, what do they want to do again? 2 o'clock in the morning?
They have 2 different reservations. One's just a room only for like the first day there,
Yep.
and then the next day they start a 7-day Magic Your Way package.
Okay.
So he wants to know if he checks in at 2 a.m. on Saturday morning, can he check in for Friday and Saturday at the same time?
Oh, 2 a.m. So 2 a.m. Friday, like the Friday night to Saturday morning, 2 a.m.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I bet you could.
Yeah, I would go up.
I mean, they're
and
not
I
going
would say it's
to give him a second room, but yeah, if you want to wake up really early, you could. Yeah, you could. You could definitely do it.
yeah.
So you can save himself. Well, why not? At 2 a.m.
Yeah.
they got nothing better to do anyway. He'll be like, good, something to do. Give it a try. Sure. Since you already had it, let us know how it worked, because it already happened. Next email is from Dan from Baltimore.
Yeah.
The family and I are taking a trip to the world. All right. We have a flight that leaves about 4:30, and we'll be staying on property at the Grand Floridian. About what time would we need to leave to make the flight, traveling with kids 6 and 8? If we have an ADR for Cinderella's lunch at 12:20, would we have time to keep that ADR? So we have a flight that's 4:30. And they're on.
Do they have a rental car?
Do they have a rental car?
You know what? They don't say.
At 15 minutes for the rental car. I mean, if the flight's at 4:30, they need to be at the airport about 3. Which
But if
means
they-
they need to leave about 2:30, 2:20.
If they're using Magical Express, they're going to have to be
But
there.
if they're using Magical Express,
If they're using
gonna be-
Magical Express, they'd have
That's
to
even less
pretty much
than-
eat and leave. Yeah.
It'll
Okay. So do you think either? So it's definitely possible no matter what.
I wouldn't try.
No,
I wouldn't.
with a rental car, it's
The rental
definitely
car.
possible. With Magical Express, I think they pick you up 3 hours before your flight,
Yeah.
4 hours before your flight.
Yeah, so they'd be picked up at 1:30, right?
Yeah, something like that. 1:30. Yeah, they wouldn't have time for their ADRs.
Unless they're at the Polynesian, you know?
Yeah, Polynesian, Grand Floridian, Canipper, something like that.
Okay. Time for our last question of the day, and that means I'll give Mr. Newell 3 emails to choose from. 1 gets read today. The other 2 go back into the email queue to be answered later. Are you ready, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Your options are: Len has a very sexy voice.
Oh, let's just go with that
Hello.
one. Don't even
Hello.
continue.
Do we really need to hear
Brady
this?
Bear.
The early bird gets the mouse, or Scopa-Treat.
Scope of what?
Scopa-Treat. Treat.
Treat?
T-R-E-A-T.
Scope a treat. I like Glenn's sexy voice because I do
Ugh.
like Glenn's sexy voice.
I like it.
Well,
Last email today is from Mary Jo Collins of Lenore City.
thank you, Mary Jo.
Right. By the way, I do love Len's voice. I have a question though. I think she just used this.
Is this the new one that she's been talking about on Twitter?
I feel so used right now. I feel well. Okay, I'm over it now. Good. I'm good. Good. I'm okay with it. Really. All right. I like Mary Jo. I'm okay with it. Go ahead.
My 7-year-old son loves sports, especially baseball. On any given day, is there any specific things that we could do over at ESPN Wide World of Sports? We'll be down in October, so I don't think there'll be any baseball games going on. Len, any tips for touring? I've been in the facility many, many times picking up packets for Disney races, but I don't have a clue as if there's anything interest for kids. And does it cost anything to get in? We do have water parks and more tickets if that makes a difference.
You might want to call. I know there's a. Isn't there like a? I know the Atlanta Braves do their spring training there. Isn't there a place like when you're walking up on the left hand side, like the box office place? I think they do some sort of baseball memorabilia thing there.
There's a
And you-
shop there.
Yeah, shop, and you can always get a tour. I think of the baseball fields. I'll bet you that in October they're doing some sort of AAU baseball thing or some sort of amateur baseball thing that you could sit and watch in the stands. They're
Yeah.
trying to keep that place pretty full.
It is World Series time, so anything's possible.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's
let's say call and ask. Yeah,
a lot of what Wide World of Sports is, and Scopa, you and I were there for the rebranding for ESPN, and we got a very in-depth tour of the whole place. And I don't know, you got this gist of the place, but I kind of got it like they're doing a lot of stuff here, but it's a lot of group stuff. It's not like a place that you would go like, let's go to the Magic Kingdom, Tuesday Epcot, and then Wednesday let's stop at Wide World of Sports and go check that out.
Well, they have designed that. They have rebranded and designed that complex to take large groups of players or whatever. So when they're doing AAU sports, basketball tournaments, softball tournaments, baseball tournaments, whatever, they have designed it so that they can accommodate teams. One of the places that I remember seeing, and I think it's in operation now, it's on the right-hand side. It's right, what they call it, the grill, right behind where the grill is. It's a PlayStation area with huge PlayStation machines,
Yes.
and you can try mostly sports games before they hit the general public. They have put them there, to help teams, kill some time while they're waiting for their next game or match or whatever. That's one place that I can think of. I don't recall any place on the left that you were saying, Matt. I mean, that's the sports center. That's where the shop is. I don't know about anything in there though.
Yeah, there is admission, and I want to say that the water parks and more does get you in over there.
Yeah.
There's definitely
I think
tickets
it
and stuff.
does. Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah. You probably want to do, Mary Jo, is definitely contact World War of Sports ahead of time and see what's going on over there. I think the PlayStation Pavilion is open. It's open 10 to 7 o'clock basically every day. I'm trying to see. Admission to the complex is not required to enter the PlayStation Pavilion, so you go there for free.
There you go.
Cool. Very good. Well, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say I don't think you can play for free though.
That might be the case.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
admission
so,
is free. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for us. And don't forget that this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And, of course, we're having the Reunion 2010 event, which is going to be happening December 1st through 5th, 2010. You can be a part of it. And not only can you be a part of it, I mean, anyone can be part of the Reunion, but, if you book your room on Disney World property through MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, you're going to get some special benefits by doing so. Yeah, that's right. By booking your room for Reunion, you're going to get 2 great perks. First, you're going to get a great rate for your room, but you're also going to be getting the ability to have 24-hour advance notice for any special Reunion events that are going to be held. You're going to get 24-hour advance notice to be able to get not only to get into those events, so a head start on everyone else, and you're also going to get free admission for 2 guests to the MEI and Mouse Fan Travel Client Appreciation Signature event. So great room, great benefits. Why not give them a try? Visit them online at www.mousefantravel.com. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send your comments, visit the WDW website at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hodgberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.